Welcome back from the break. In case you've just joined us, we are talking about men and aphrodisiacs. How necessary are they for men? It's a growing industry, and in fact, in some cases, it's a budding industry. Strawberries.
No.
Before we get to your strawberries.
Actually, I was still developing my argument. Now, these, aphrodisiacs come in when people think that their sexual performance is below standard.
Correct.
Now, who defines the standard? I think Mukasa has always had a question about that. Who defines this standard? But I want us to look into our societies. I like very much to dig from our traditional roots. There are certain foods which are sold traditionally, and they know that these ones will improve performance. From mukene, from people taking bushera, from people, you know what I'm saying? From men chewing coffee, and the roots, okay? So they have been there. Now, you see, men, a man without sexual performance is not a man. Most people will feel like that, if not all men. So a man will do whatever is necessary, whether evil or not evil, to have that sexual performance. That's why these substances are coming in, these aphrodisiacs.
I think that if you step back and you look at, because if this topic actually came from the audience, isn't it?
Yes.
And the reason why is what Banji is saying is it has always been there. Why? Because I think, and this is my view, purely my view, men get preoccupied. They get preoccupied. They get lost in thought. And you can't tell me that none of you there's not been a time where you go 3-4 days and you're looking for, you've got your mind focused so much on one thing, either it's a deal or it's a money or it's a presentation. You've got your mind so focused on one thing that other thing, because you can't multitask, other things tend to fall by the wayside. So what did societies do? They evolved with ways to always try and stimulate and bring back, such that these things don't fall out. And you know business guys who 3, 4, 5, 7 days is just, he's obsessing about this one thing, this one deal, this one, that, I mean, soccer fans and I think that's society's way of making sure that this other side is not neglected. What has happened, and as Banji is saying, is it's just become modernized. Now it's cool, you get some whipped cream, to excite and just bring back some excitement into.
Okay, no, sorry, go ahead.
It's a bit confusing what we are talking about. What are you calling aphrodisiacs? Because you seem to be talking about performance enhancers.
Yes.
Now, those are not necessarily aphrodisiacs. Aphrodisiacs are
food,
are things that stimulate, that make you want, not so.
Yes, they increase your libido,
but they have to be food.
Now, drugs can also be
the drugs that are common on the market are actually performance enhancement, actually for performance enhancement, but they will not. They will not make you want. You have to do that for yourself, or you have to find something else.
Let me just pick the dictionary definition of an aphrodisiac. An aphrodisiac is a substance that increases sexual desire. Because you see, sexual desire is a chemical balance in your body. And it's meant to be generated naturally, but as Colin said, modern life has brought a lot of issues. Okay, there are you've got your stress levels, of course, which could create a chemical imbalance. So you actually may not have the desire to have sex, but you want to, but you can't. So there's certain things which you can take, and Banji mentioned it. Traditionally, we had the certain roots, like there were coffee beans and things like that, which you were able to take. And
groundnuts.
Yes, and groundnuts, which you're able to take, and which they'll get you there. However, we don't have time nowadays. Everybody's running up and down. So what a lot of people have resorted to is, let me just pop a pill of Viagra, Pelagra, Camadol. I don't know what is with the RAS.
You see, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
When you start to talk about those, then the discussion has changed.
Yes.
Because we seem to be discussing here our obsession with a lack of performance. Now, I don't know if for a month, when you're not thinking about sex, there's some issue bothering you, will bother you the same way you will go and fail to perform.
It will, and I'll tell you why.
When you're just not thinking about it, it's not crossing your mind.
No,
will it bother you?
Yes. What do you call it? I'll tell you. What happens is
happened to one of your friends.
No, it happened. Every man, and I'll quote Joseph.
When
yes, you are never at 100%.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
No, you're not at 100%. What? Performance or desire? Of course, these are two different things.
I think you need to listen to Joseph.
And they affect you differently. Mm-hmm. Okay. You see, when you go to a room and you cannot perform, that's a different problem. Okay. When you're pitching an account for a month and you've put sex on the side, I think that's also a different problem.
Because that's a desire issue.
Yeah, it's a desire issue. And when you get to doing it, then you will perform. That's a different problem. What are you talking about?
If you analyze that literature, you may find that it will be very, very difficult for us really to distinguish between these interest-arousing substances and performance enhancement. Most of them which enhance performance also arouse interest.
Hell no.
But what we are discussing
you go and read about it. Go and read about Viagra. Go and read about Penegra. Go and read about Camagra. It is very simple. It does not arouse interest for you because it does different things. It enhances the enzyme that keeps your valves open to keep the blood there. So, but here to arouse interest, no.
Now,
it will just give you a bad headache.
Some of them arouse interest, not all of them, but some of them, actually most of them cut across. But I get your argument. What we are talking about here is the interest, not the performance. Because you perform after having the interest.
No.
So how do you, we are talking about why is it that now we are using external stimulants to get the interest? Because the interest is a chemical reaction.
Correct.
It's a chemical reaction to stimulus.
Yeah, to stimulate your body so that you produce sexual hormones.
Mm-hmm. No, I think we are discussing a Japanese problem. The Ugandan problem is a lot of people have interest. They are just not working well enough. In Japan, people are not interested in sex. That's a different problem.
No, but you see, I'll tell you what, and like I mentioned, this is something which has come up not only just once, but a number of times from our Facebook page. You see, what is happening is there's a lot of confusion because somebody is stressed. They've got a lot of things on their mind, and the problem is not really stemming from men. It's the women who are telling men, what is wrong with you? Okay, you're a useless chap because nowadays. What do you call it?
Give me 2 minutes and
you
sleep.
Or is there somebody else?
Is there someone else? Oh, and you've heard about this. You've heard about this when you go 1 week and they start saying, so where are you doing?
You see, gentlemen, I want to come back to what Mukasa is trying to bring here. The interest. The interest. Why is it that now people are looking for ways of of enhancing the interest? And I think that's your concern. Now, of course, the interest, we were saying that it is a natural, the normal one is supposed to be a natural, biological, and psychological reaction, whereby your body naturally tunes to sexual desires. But arguments have been thrown here and there that now the average Kampala man is very busy. Okay, you are here at this show, after here you want to pass somewhere, you are pitching something somewhere. Today is Wednesday. By Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, you have done nothing. You don't have interest. You even not thinking about it. And that's where men are saying, now, let us look for something to give us the interest. Because we are being really harassed in the sexual department. So we have to look for interest. And these modern demands are eroding men's what? Interest. And that's why they are going for those.
Because
I disagree.
And I'll tell you why. Also, think about it. Can you imagine you walk into a shop to buy something and the shopkeeper is busy chewing mulondo? First of all, you won't take this guy seriously. Or look at it, you go into the office and somebody is at the reception and they're busy chewing. So you don't have access to these things. So what is happening is...
It's only at the reception who have access to mulondo.
And Peter likes to talk about the reception people at...
So I know where you're going. You're saying, I think you don't want to confuse performance without desire. I mean, with desire. Yeah. But the bottom line is, why do you want to perform if you don't have desire?
You see, because whether you have desire or not, because the issue now seems to be someone who needs to be satisfied. Now, Peter,
that's a very dangerous place to go.
Let me just tell you.
Okay,
you're talking about the whole industry.
Straight after the break. Okay, we'll come back to you. Okay, we've reached that point in the show where we have to take a break. I don't like doing this. I know Colin thinks I do. But we're here at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel and we're talking about men and aphrodisiacs. What is it about men and performance that just keeps on digging into them? Join us straight after the break.